Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So basically, in previous video, I had explained you how to connect your Redis in your .NET application. So I must say that video had got a good response, and I'm continuing further. That I had mentioned at the end of the video that I'll be explaining you how to run your application in containers like Docker. So before running your application in container, you need to create your application using .NET or any other framework. So for now, I'm creating a controller in .NET, and I'll be using the template of .NET itself for running my app in a container like Visual Studio. So suppose I'm taking an example of creating a parking system. So basically, you visit malls and all, right? So there you must have seen persons generating a slip based on the your license number of your car or bike, right? So we'll be simulating that as in our current video. So let's create a web API that will generate a slip that will release the slot that will book the slot for a particular bike or car. Okay. So for that, let me go to .NET Core Web. So here I'm getting a lots of recommendation, but I don't want to create a razor page or something. I just want to create a backend. So I'll select a standalone backend application. For that, I'll be selecting ASP.NET Core Web API. Okay. So let me click next. I'll say is a parking guide parking system. Okay. So is asking to place in the same directory. Okay, place it in the same directory. Now next. So here you can see we have different frameworks. So for now I'm taking the latest one because the previous two are now out of support. Okay. So let's select .NET. There is not much difference in .NET 6 and .NET 8. Just the difference between your interface can have a constructor and all. I'll explain if you want. I can explain you that what is the difference between both the framework. For now, let's configure. So here you can say so let's see like enabled container support is enabled, but you can disable as well, but we want our application to run in the container. So I'll select this and it's asking me to container OS. So for now I'm selecting Linux because this is widely used and it is cross platform and can be like deployed on any cloud infrastructure, so it brings you the lots of support, whereas Windows is for legacy Windows application that you not need to learn about this thing because they are now very outdated. Okay. So this is a configuration I will do. I will create my project. They ask me a solution with the same solution on this. Please specify do you want to override. I will say I already created a one, but I had created with the same thing. So it's asking me to override. So I'll say yes. So it is creating me a project. So let's wait till it's getting loaded. Okay. So in Solution Explorer, let me see what is been added. So here I added a controller, weather focus controller, parking system, folder which containing many more detail. Okay. We'll see what this each and every file meant to for this project, but for now we are focusing on how to create a controller, and this is just going through the folder structure that is created. Okay. Okay. Let's get cake. So I think this is my previous project, which is right. So this is I not nated. Delete that because I used the same name. So because of that, we have seen that. So let's see if we able to see the controllers. So you can see the project has run successfully and it's showing me weather forecast controller. So let us try out. So it is giving me some results, right? So we don't need this, so we'll remove that. All thing is working fine. I'll just hit back. So either you can create a new new controller, or you can edit this file as well. But I'll create a new separate controller. I will add so it's in controller. I will name as so it is asking me some MVC controller empty, MVC controller with rewrite action. I'll say just add the empty one. Okay, so he's asking me what the controller is already recommending some name, right? But I don't want this name. I want controller. before that, parking controller, I'll add this. Okay, so he had added me something. Okay, view, this is not needed. I'll say, okay, I'll say this is an API controller. Just to speed up the things, let me copy from here. It's already recommending me well, but let me copy from here, so it will be very easier for you and me as well to explain you the actual required things. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so I need to change to weather focus controller. Okay, and logger is not should be for parking controller. Okay, so thing is done. So let me add git parking. So I need two controller. First, we'll check, right? First, to check whether there is a available slot or not, and second one is to get generate the sleep. So, or we can do this both the thing in similar method. So for that, what I can do is I'll create a same method, and there I'll be writing this logic. Okay. So before creating this is like recommending something. So I can do this thing, right? But for that I need one. So I for you are going to in a company, so they follow this structure, right? Model view and controller structure. So model and controller will be in a separate file, my service file will be different. So for other operations like checking whether we have the slots or not, so for that what we can do is we can add a service file. So I'll create a new folder, say service, or just service. Okay, in that we can add class, add class. So we are just creating a structure before proceeding. So in class what we'll be doing, method basically. So parking service. Okay, so I'll name it parking service. I'll save it as it is. So for now I'm not doing anything. Let's let it be how it is. Secondly, I'll add one more structure. It's a class. So here I'll mention the models, right? Models, say okay, add. Okay, sorry, I don't want to add model, I want to add folder. So that can be done using add folder, and that will contain my model, right? And then add my class. Okay, that will be parking, or basically the sleep, right? Yeah, or can, so better naming convention, let's say parking sleep. Okay, so I'll add that. So I added parking sleep. That will contain if you're using database, so you need to have this id, right? And secondly, you can have public string license plate is already coming me string description. No, I don't need description, and I don't want license plate also. I can let it be vehicle. Here I can description, instead of that I can type vehicle. What is the type of the vehicle? Here I can say vehicle registration number. To be very how this is how we do. But yeah, also not, I will not be explaining you to set up your DB right now. So for now it is slot. Okay, so we had created this one. Let's go to this one. It's parking. I will say I don't need parking, I need sleep. Parking sleep. Okay, and I will say I'll remove this one. Okay, so parking service will inherit from I parking. So for that, let me create one function specifically, and folder I interface. Okay, so in that I'll add this what is a class. Okay, so that is interface. So let's I parking service add. Okay, so here we can say I parking. It's not running because it is parking service. Okay, it is not should be using parking service dot interface. Okay, so it should implement two methods. So what should be the method? Suppose it should be having basically two methods. One, it should be of generating sleep for new bike coming to the for parking, and the one should be releasing, right? So we said, right, that when we generating the sleep, we'll check whether it is containing the slots or not, and it will assign some slots for them, and will release them when he go out of the parking, right? So I'll say, so I need to write the signature here, parking sleep. So it is in sleep should be it may or may not, right? It can have or cannot. So it is generate it sleep, and I'll say it will expect a string, right? In string, what will say vehicle number can contain numbers and alphabet, right? So this is how it's going to vehicle number slash string vehicle type. So this is one signature I created. Secondly, we can do is releasing the slot. So releasing the slot will not return anything. So let's say it's release slot. Then I'll say I will what I need. So before releasing slot, I need some slots, right? The slot number, right? So let's say slot number, which will be in string. We'll use the string, and so yeah. So I think these two services for now we'll use this. Okay. And parking services has these two method which is not implemented. So we'll go implement interface. So we have implemented, right? So it will throw another okay, so these two things are done, but before we need something, right, to store our data. We are not using any database for now. So for that, what I'll be doing is I'll be using two data type, or two by two, because one will ensure the availability, right? So in that we'll store all the slots available in the parking, and like for that we will be using queue. Why we are using queue? Because one is coming, another is going out, so I have to maintain both of the things. And whenever one is going out, I'll be appending something to my queue. Whereas this is not possible in another data structure, or it may require a lot of time to do this, perform this operation. So for this we can have a queue, right? So for that, let's have private that queue should be this. If something went wrong, you just I'm also not regularly creating these controllers, right? So it may happen I'll like forget something, and I'm trying well to not you know explain you properly, and it may happen sometimes, right? So that is private, and then we'll be creating dictionary sleeps. So basically this is for I'll be using for slots, whichever slot is booked or not, I'll maintain that in sorry, the sleeps I'll maintain it here. So whenever if someone lost their sleep, I'll have some data, right, whenever he had come into my parking slot, and when he is going out, right? So for that, that is so plugin sleep is a model. I can also have data type of date time. So it is already recommending me, right? We also know what I'm thinking. He is listening me, I guess, right? So yeah. So default it is also recommending me something, right? Default something. I don't know. I just figured. I just default date time not now. So now is not whatever is current what are let it be. I'll assign. I don't know why it is. Okay, so we had initialized dead time, right? So now let's go to the parking. This is a controller. We are not at explore the controller yet, right? So we'll just try the logic here. First, we need to initialize this thing, right? So I'll create one public, sorry, public my parking service will contain this. The parking service will not receive anything because this is my singleton, which I don't want anyone to change it, right? But can create an instance of it. So I'll say parking slot equals to, why a new string is new string. Okay, so already recommending me something. So he's too smart. So what he had done is, okay, okay, this is the same thing. I just don't want this thing, right? So I'll just remove this. So I created a queue, right? And now what we can do is we can maintain two-wheeler, three-wheeler as well, but that is not necessary. We'll do that later on. Okay. So we also need a count, right? So it will have private to, let's say it will now start to, two-wheeler is not an object, is an int. It will now start with wheeler, initialized with 0. Okay. So I'll not initialize here, or okay. Say, so let's initialize here at the end only. Okay, so this is gem in, so I'll again create a one. This is four-wheeler, this is two-wheeler. Okay, so suppose initialize with some values first. So let's say 10. Then what I'm doing is I'm including my string to queue, right? So I'm parking slot. So here we can do a different thing. We can use dollar and then a string of values where we can, okay, this is my variable, so I'll put this in curly braces. So I didn't need to, okay, so only it will only have 60, right? So I'll do this for 50, and okay, so two-wheelers parking is this. Just uh, two-wheeler 1, two-wheeler 2, two-wheeler 3. So I'm maintaining this format. Also I'll creating this. I'll have 10. I'll have four-wheeler. Okay, so now my queue is initialized. Okay, so for generating a sleep, what do I require is, if I'm saying if my parking slot is, first of all, parking slot is empty, that is I can see as count equals to 0, and I say we don't have any warning, so I'll return a string, return uh, okay, this will handle in controller, so I will return null, which I had have an object with null value, right? So I will handle it in my controller. Else if I have, so what I'll do, also I'll do else, we are returning null here, so we can do here. So what we'll do, so my package is slot, right? So what will if it's not, so I'll say dequeue my queue, and generate new sleep is already coming me. Parking sleep dot new sleep slot is string is not null here. Cannot type string to int. The slot is okay. So I had assigned a slot string int. So I'll say string, all things in string. Okay, so slot, so I'm not using if I'm using integer, I could not say it string, right? So let's say string here only. So I generated a sleep. I will return, oh, before returning I'll maintain that my parking sleep dot add why parking slate. Okay, I'll need to have one dictionary will maintain which are active, which are occupied. Sorry, parking sleep. Okay, I already had this. Sorry. So I'll take this here. I'll say parking sub dot add sleep and sorry add slot and sleep. So for this slot, this sleep is generated. Okay, and if I want to remove, so I'll say so if someone has it entered wrong, then I should return something, right? Uh, it's a written bool. So if and I'll change it in my interface. It should be a bool. Okay, so Microsoft remove this slot number and return true. If so, if my to not throw an error, I'll just do it like this. Um, contain ski say slot number contains key of slot number, right? So lay this else or don't need else as a thing because already returning it. So I'll return false, right? So this is how we can do, and for this we'll put it in my okay. So I'll return true false from here, right? And from here I'll return my generated sleep. So I'll return sleep. Okay, so I think my logics are clear. I had created a logic for it, right? Now need to parking service. I need to because see, this is an instance, right? So this instance is should be changed from here and should not be again instantiated for each and every request, right? So what I can do is I can go to my program.css. I'll explain you what I'm doing currently. Just to follow me for meanwhile. So I'll go in my program.cs. I'll register what is it? I register my service file as singleton because for each request I should knowing I should have this right. So it's showing me error. I should be having the same reference, right? And the value should not change for each and every request. So for same instance to be used for cross the request, I'll need to initialize add it as a singleton. Okay, so this is how it is done. So we had registered as a singleton class. So whenever I go and hit this controller, I will see the same thing, same data has been updated. So gate parking is not correct. Gate parking is correct, no worries. Something gate parking. I will say this is the same thing because it's very much convenient, right? You can name it anything else. It's your call. So I'll say I'll send InMirror, or should I say not task because I'm not accessing to database. So let it be the same thing. So I'll say string. I'll expect vehicle number. Okay, vehicle number. Then I'll accept integer of vehicle sorry vehicle vehicle type, and this is how it's done. Okay, so I'll return uh, before that I need to call. So here I'm not initializing my service, so I need to do that. So to do that, I first need to create a variable that will store my service that is already recommending me. I parking service. So let me add some using statements. it is registered. So here I'll, before logging, I should do this. That is I parking, sorry, that is same thing, I parking service. So let me paste it here. Parking service system I parking service. So this is what we had done in program.cs. The same instance will be written for each and every request here whenever we are editing the controller. So this is what is done. Now I'll call my parking service method dot generate sleep, and I'll pass the int and type. String will contain my integer type. Okay. P is equals to 2. Then vehicle type is 2 wheeler, else I'll assign it a 4 wheeler. Right. Okay. All good. So I can go into controller. Let's send to change in my iParking service application where it's sent. So now I should get the reference. Okay, now it's gone. There res, right? So if my res is not equals to null, will return res, or I'll return null. So this will make it so here I'll be getting a same. Okay. Some second method is to has to be post. Because I'm sending some values, right? So I should use HTTP post here. So instead of get, that makes more sense. Get name should be remove slots. Okay, and then I'll have one. Okay, will not written anything. Remove, say, slots, release slots. I'll pass the slots. So I think I had created the structure and all. Let me run. Okay, then, sorry. Small mistake happens from all of us, right? So let's run and see results. Screening error. The section parking lot central with parking has API Explorer enabled, but is using conventional routing. Only extent which using attribute routing support API. Okay, so let me check this. Let me take a reference from this. I think I should use a route, and instead of this, let me try it out. So I should use the route attribute that will contain my this information only. Get p, and here I'll remove this out, and here also I'll use. and I should finish. I think the error should get resolved. The better way to write this is API slash and this controller name. So that is much better than this. But this will also work. So yeah. So post, I'll say, let me try it out whether it is working or not. MH4804 vehicle type is two-wheeler. So objects instance talking sleep. Okay, so you're getting something. Talking sleep is not initialized. Yeah, so I need to initialize just like I've done for new queue states, and this should now get resolved. I need to rerun, I guess. I think all is fine now. We're initialized and okay. MH4806 type is two-wheeler. So I generated a sleep, right? So it successfully generated me a sleep. The vehicle date. Okay, so date this. Okay. Everything is looks fine now, right? So this is how you create a web API. So I think the slot. Let me try it with this slot as well. Why it's showing string in space of slot? Let's check. So in slot, what I'm doing is okay. Mm-hmm. It should get me slots should be two-wheeler and then the I of string that is one is not doing that thing. Let me check this out whether it is working correctly or not. Uh, equal type 2 7. So I need to add some checks there, right? So it has 56. It is correctly. The slots. Yeah, this is correct. This is also correct. Slot is my string, correct. Okay, vehicle number is this. Time dot now. That is correct. Actually, why is not showing me the proper results? Okay, now it's okay. We were going to the schema, right? So this is the output. So I think it is working fine. We can also test it the post. So let me dequeue this. Means put this and execute. So okay. Okay. So we are not sending any response from it, right? So because of that, we are not getting any response there. But this is how you create a web APIs. And we had done two methods, right? Removing and putting the APIs. In the next video, we'll be looking up how to set up the entity framework for the interaction with the DB and what are the steps we need to follow to set up our entity framework. So thank you for staying me this long, and I hope you like this video. So please give us thumbs up and comment down what are the topic you need to learn in my upcoming videos. Thank you.